If you're about to leave your house for the next 6 to 8 weeks, locked up, empty, nobody's going to be there to water your plants, to open up your windows, to check and make sure everything's all right, I have a few tips on what you can do to make sure that you come home and your house is still nice and fresh and clean and airy and not taken over by mold or insects or anything like that, especially if your house is in a humid climate like I am. So hi, my name is Monique, the traveling Jamaican daughter. I currently live in Merida, Mexico, where humidity is on next level. Like I've never, as I said, I'm from Jamaica. I've never seen humidity like this before. If you can hear, there's still like a frog in my throat right now because me and my teenage daughter, just came back from a summer of travel. I went to St. Louis and then I came back to Merida for a short while. And then me and her, we left to Miami. We stayed in Miami for a couple of days. She went to a different island. I went to Jamaica. We came back. We met back in Miami for a couple of days. And then we came to Merida, Mexico. And none of us was sick for that entire time till me land back in Merida. So I could talk about it. I could talk about what go on and why I'm sick and so and so. Ooh, child. So I have done all the research into what you need to do to make sure that you don't come back to your place looking absolutely crazy and like just a jungle. I did all that research. I've watched all the videos because I know from previous travels and leaving just my bedroom locked up when my parents were here that I was going to come back to a house full of mold if I didn't take certain precautions. So I did my research, but after having now done it, I still see that there were a few other things that I could have done to make sure that the place was even better, because it was, thankfully, if you go back and watch the last couple of videos on my channel, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been, trust me. But there's still a few more precautions that I could have taken to make sure the place was spick and span and top notch when I come back. And so I just wanted to share those tips with you. If you are planning to do long-term travel, you're going to lock up your house for the next 6 to 8 weeks or even longer than that. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the big issue of mold. Now, before I get into it, the empty plant pot right there, so still a bad me. That is, that is point number maybe 3 or 4. So there is a reason why it's empty and it's in the background. We're going to talk about it. All right, but let's go back to the point of mold. If you're in Merida or any humid place, or any humid climate at all, you're going to be trying to figure out how you deal with making sure that your house is not taken over by mold when you come back. Because I left in the middle of a hurricane, pretty much. I left in the rainy season and Hurricane Beryl was on her way, and it was just weeks and weeks of rain every single day. It's raining right now, that's why the video kind of dark. I'm sitting right by my window. So yeah, what do? You have to lock up your windows. And some people will say, well, maybe you leave the aircon on. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that light bill, especially if you're going away for 8 weeks. Um, you do have choices and options. So one of the things that you can do is to make sure that you leave. They have this thing called damp rid that you can get at Home Depot or maybe even some of the larger supermarkets around town. You can get that and put that out in like little bowls and buckets around your house. It will draw the humidity out of the air and keep your place to the right level of humidity that it's supposed to be, whatever that number is. I forget what it is right now. But that is an option that you have, is to make sure that you leave those things out. I didn't do any of that. One of the things that you can do as well is to get a big dehumidifier. I actually have one of those that I put in my closet when I lived in a previous house, because I put a dehumidifier in my closet because the last time I traveled when I was in that house, I went away for like just a weekend, Thursday to Tuesday. And when I came back, the closet was full of mold. Thankfully, we had just moved in, so I hadn't put stuff into that closet yet. But it was a closet with a door and everything. So when I came back, I had just put a purse on the shelf, and when I come back, the purse had mold after 4 days. So imagine if I had gone away for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Oh no, child. So in that house, I had a dehumidifier always constantly running in my closet. If you are going away for 6 to 8 weeks, you're gonna need a big humidifier or somewhere to make sure that it empties itself, because dehumidifiers, they gather the water out of the air, and so you have to dump out the water every now and then, right? So that is a consideration. Make sure you get the right size dehumidifier for your place. That is why. So if you're touring Mexican homes, you will see that a lot of the kitchen cabinetry and a lot of even the bedroom closets do not come covered. They are open closets, and I really and truly think that that's what saved a lot of my clothes, because I have a nice big closet space to the left in my room here, but it is not covered. It is completely open, and so my clothes, my shoes, everything were completely fine. Same in Munchkin's room, were completely fine when we came back. Where did I see mold? I do have kitchen cabinetry, and the lower ones, the ones where the pipe is connected because the sink is right there, when you open the door, you can see that there's mold on the door in my kitchen cabinets. So I had to take out everything and wash it and wipe down the door with vinegar, is what they say you must use to get rid of mold. Let me tell you where else I saw mold, guys. And I think this is because I have nice, cushy toilet seats. When I opened my toilet, oh God, mold, like it looked like cotton was growing on my toilet seat, and then there were the black spots on. Leave your toilet seats open. Please leave your toilet seats open. Leave your toilets open, whatever. Leave the toilet seat up. Like, do like the man them and leave the toilet seat up if you're going away. Because I obviously closed my toilet seat, and I would not recommend, because there's moisture in there and it's just going to be a hot mess when you come back. So I have 3 bathrooms in this house, or 3 toilets in this house. The one downstairs does not have the cushy seat that we sit on. It just have the little plastic toilet seat. That one did not have mold. So take from that what you will. Maybe you don't get the cushy toilet seats, or maybe you just leave open your toilet bowl when you're going away, because that was not a pleasant sight to come home to. And yeah, okay, cool. Another place that I saw mold was on my pillowcases and my sheets. So I would have had the comforter, and I had it over, and when I pulled it back, no, my bed never spread. So yes, in the rush of leaving that morning to get to the airport, I did not spread my bed. And I don't know if that would have helped or saved my sheets and my pillowcases, but when I got back, they were like, sir, you know, like when you pee the bed. I sent a WhatsApp to my girlfriend saying it looks like lizards came in my room and peed all over my bed, all over my pillows specifically. So I had to strip the pillows because they were the water spots, and then when I turned the pillow over, there was mold on the underside of the pillow. I do not know why. I don't want to know why. All I did was strip the sheet and the pillow, and I threw that stuff away. And then I took my pillows to the laundromat to be laundered. Like the whole pillow, I threw them in the big machine that they have at the laundromat. And I'll insert the clip here so that you can see my 2 little pillow them in the big washing machine, just a spin round and round and round. And I thought the soap water would have never drained outside, because I think in my trauma I put too much soap in that machine. But there, okay. So those are the major places that I saw mold, were my toilet seats and my pillow cases. And so I did even Google to see if I needed to launder the actual pillows. It says yes, if mold is sitting on your pillowcase, especially for an extended period of time, wash the pillow them too. And it took everything out of me not to throw out the pillows, because I was like, all right, let's just start over from scratch. But I had to believe in the power of soap and water and bleach and vinegar. I put vinegar in the washing machine. The pillow them good, everything good. But I don't know if I should have also cleaned our air conditioners having come back to the house. So when I came back to the house after 6 to 8 weeks, I had a fumigator come in and make sure that there are no spiders or ants or any other kind of bugs taking over my house. And I also had a cleaning crew come in and deep clean the place and do a proper, it's not just a regular like cleaning lady. It's a team, and they come in with their vacuum and they do a proper good job of vacuuming like the window sills and every little thing, every little crevice and corner. They do a deep clean. I had them come in. But I think we should have gotten our air con I don't know if I should have serviced it before I left, or if it would have been a better idea to service it now that we are back, because me and Munchkin are both very sick right now. We have this dry heaving cough and I sound like there are frogs in my throat. So, and we've been back in the house for over a week now, and the cough just not getting no better. So I don't know if we picked up the same bug, maybe a COVID, but I don't know, or if something is in the air conditioning that I need to get checked. You are supposed to service these units every 6 months. I have not yet been in this house 6 months, but the time is coming up, so I think I'm gonna get that done and just make sure that, you know, the whole house is nice and proper and welcoming back to us now. All right, point number 2 that you want to do, especially if you're leaving from Mexico, you live in Mexico and you're about to travel for the entire summer or another extended trip, child, please to make sure that you download JAPay and CFE, the 2 apps that control your light and your water. Now, I have always had the CFE, that's the electricity company's app, on my phone. So I know when the bill comes, I know when it needs to be paid. There is no such thing as a grace period in Mexico. If your bill is due today, your light are cut off tomorrow. So you make sure you pay your bill on time. If you're using the app, you need a Mexican issued card to pay on the app. So if you're traveling, or if you're an American, a lot of Americans have not opened local bank accounts, which I get it. I get why you wouldn't, because, you know. So I have gone ahead and opened a local bank account. And so I was able to just pay my light bill online, even though I was in Jamaica using my bank card. I did not do that for water, for JAPay. So I have downloaded the app now. But I did not do that when I was traveling. So I came back and the bill was 77 pesos, which is about maybe 40 US dollars. And here I am now scrambling to find where to pay this water bill, because I'm in the house and the water bill did due from July 20 something, and we are in the house in August 20 something. And I'm like, oh my God, the water must cut off by now. So I turn on the water and the water pressure is low, and I'm like, yes, Chacha, see it here in our house and the water no day. I'm going to cancel the cleaning crew. But what we have is we have a tank downstairs, a small tank, but it's a tank nonetheless. And so it will look like the water pressure was, I thought it was just a little dregs from the tank coming through, and that's why the water pressure is so low. Because we also have a water pump that's supposed to make sure that the water pressure upstairs here is nice and flush all the time. So I think the water pump conked out. But the water was not cut off, thankfully. So I just said a while ago, so there are no grace periods. I don't know what happened. Thank you, everybody up above. But the water was not cut off, because I scrambled down to JAPay, the nearest payment center that I could find, and I paid by 77 pesos. And then I asked the little security guard outside, how long do they take? Because at this point, I still think that the water cut off. So I said, how long them take to come and put back on the water? And the man said 1 to 10 days. And I was like, I cannot live without water for 10 days. Are you out of your mind? Are you mad? And so the man sent me to the talk to one guy, because you know I'm Mexico there, and me a Jamaica, and you can pay a man and do a man, and you know, little palm can grease and you get what you want. So I go and me talk to the man, and somebody came and intercepted me and said, no, it's 1 to 10 days. And so I just left and come back home the day thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to be in this house without water. Thankfully, it was just a water pump concord, but water has been in the house. Whew. Don't do like me, folks. Make sure you have access to pay your bills online. So if you don't have a Mexican issued card, what you can do is to use the DD app. So DD is like Uber. DD is another transportation delivery app, just like Uber, but they have some services in their app that you can also like pay your bills. So if you're using an American card or even your PayPal or whatever, you can pay your bills through DD. Of course, DD is going to take their commission, and it's not going to be instantaneous, because DD is going to then send the money over to the company. But at least if you get the bill, because you can download the app just so you can see the bill, see how much you need to pay, and then you use DD to pay the bills before they're due, you'll be fine. So that is a workaround if you're using a card that is not issued here in Mexico. Cool. All right, so point number 3 of what you want to do to make sure that you come back home and things are legit and good is what are you gonna do about plant care? Like we all have all these house plants now coming out of COVID. I know that that was when I went deep into I need house plants. I want all the plants. When you're going away for such a long time, what do you do with the plants? Well, what I did was leave them out the door. I took that plant outside and I left it outdoor, and I'll insert a little clip here on what it currently looks like because I got the good and the bad. So it got watered out there, so it's not completely dead, but it's the sun, the Merida sun over the summer was too harsh for it. So a lot of the leaves are completely sunburnt. So I'm gonna have to cut back some of the leaves, and I don't bring it back inside yet because I feel like I want to spray it down for neem and bugs and stuff because it's a bedroom plant. I feel like I want to get some neem oil to spray it down first, or if you have any other suggestions for me, you can leave them down in the comments below because my thumb is like kind of yellow. It's not bright green yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. So if you want to leave some comments for me, but the plant, this is what the plant looks like now, and all I need to do is take off the sunburnt leaves and see if I can nurse it back to life and get it nice and flush again by hopefully around Christmas time thereabout when I travel again and leave it out there again. Maybe us nomads just need to get some fake plants. I don't know. Fall is in, and the fall plants these days are looking much more realistic. Maybe that's what I need to get, child. But anyway, so those are the three main things that I would say I fumbled on. The rest of them, I think most people do when they're traveling long term anyway. Things like plugging out every single device, thing that can be plugged out. Only thing that was left plugged in was my fridge, of course. Now there is this little trick that I learned on TikTok, of course, of freezing a cup of ice in the freezer, and then when it's frozen, you put a little coin on top and put it back in the freezer. What is that supposed to do? For places like Mexico that has rolling blackouts every now and then, especially in the summer, if you come back and the coin has slipped down in the water, then you know, so let it go if you have time where the ice melt and the coin drop down at bottom, right? I froze a cup of water, and then I forgot to put the coin on top. So I don't know. So I don't know. I don't think though, because where I am, we do not have those kind of lengthy blackouts. And when me look on it, I did try to eat up and use up most of the things that were in the fridge and the freezer, but I was not counting properly when I did my big grocery shopping before we traveled. We never did a count and say, all right, well, 4 weeks to eat up all of this food, because I had made a big order from a farm that I found here online. I love them so much because they send me pasture raised and grass fed and you know all the healthy nice meats. I'm a meat eater. I love my bacon, and they send me nitrate free bacon. Love it, love it, love it. So I had ordered a big order from them, and then I went to Costco with my friend and go buy up again, and then I was just like left with all these groceries in my freezer and my fridge when we were leaving. So I come back home, I had chicken, sausage, beef and pork left in my freezer same way, but I cooked the chicken already. The integrity of the stuff still looked pretty good. So I don't think we had any long blackouts, any at all. I'm sometimes still good, man. But so yeah, those were just the 3 tips that I wanted to add on to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that I were. They were not huge. Because as I say, I did all the other things that you would normally do when you're traveling, like plug out and make sure all the windows are locked. I mean, if you have a window that can stay open, like I think one of the things that definitely saved my bedroom from mold, from more mold, the bathroom window, the one, that's why I love. If you watch my house hunting videos here, you know I love bathrooms with windows. And you don't technically get that in apartments. You don't really get that in apartments here. The bathroom window is in the tub or in the shower. So I left that open because if rain comes, just I go in my shower. So that helped with a little bit of airflow, just a little bit. So yeah, but I locked up all the other windows because it's rainy season. It's a rain right now. You heard it thunder a while ago. So let me wrap up this video. If you have any more tips on things that I can do to make sure that my house is in tip-top shape when I travel again, because I will be traveling again. Come and name the what? The traveling Jamaican data. Make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you live more life. Whatever you do today, try to find some way to do something that brings you just a little bit more joy. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.